Game 4 presents us with a nice engine board here. There's Margrave for draw, nice action cards in City and Border Village. Hireling also draws, and we have some trashing in the Spice Merchant. So what seems like a strong thing to do here is to get the Spice Merchant Market Square trigger to gain gold. Of course, you could do that after you've set up your draw with the Margraves. Treasure maps could be a consideration at some point, but maybe you're just better off doing the Spice Merchant Market Square thing. Hireling is actually a card I like on this board because it can give you a little bit of recovery after the Margrave mercs your turn. So, but it kind of competes with Border Village on 6 there. So I think you want to be buying Border Village um, for a while before hireling. So my opponent opened 5-2, went straight for the Margrave. I went Silver Spice Merchant, looking for a Margrave with the silver. I do find a Margrave. I could have gone Spice Merchant Market Square. Maybe, you know, just a little more cycling and maybe searching for the trigger if I happen to collide those two. I would take 1 gold just because 6 is a pretty important price point here, and the gold is a nice way to get there. So yeah, I get hit with the Margrave, gets sent down to 3. My Spice Merchant missed the shuffle, which is not great, but whatever. And on 3 I pick up a Market Square, which immediately collides with my Spice Merchant here. So my opponent played his first Margrave and he drew 5 coppers, right? I believe. Is that what happened? And he bought a Spice Merchant with it. So you'll see what happens the next time he plays his Margrave. So here I didn't trigger this Market Square at this point because I was searching, maybe, hopefully, to get 5 coppers just like him and go for a mint play. That would greatly accelerate my trashing, and I can go for the mint play with a bunch of coppers because as long as I keep a copper back, I can recover economically because I have the Spice Merchant Market Square thing going on. So 5 for me is not going to be another Margrave, just a city here, and then I'll get a second Margrave. I'm not sure if that's right. I think that's okay to just get the city there as opposed to the Margrave. So here, another Margrave play for my opponent. He draws 5 again. Right, he draws 5 again. And he picked up a Caravan Guard, whereas I picked up a Market Square, my $3 hand. So had he picked up a Market Square instead of a Caravan Guard, he could have gone for the mint here, and that would have put me in the back by a big way. 5 coppers out the deck, and then he could recover very quickly with the Market Square Spice Merchant thing. And not only can he recover by trashing, he could get money by minting golds directly. So if he had picked up a Market Square instead of a Caravan Guard and seen that play for the mint, I think that this game would have been over already. But as is, he doesn't have the Market Square. He only has the Caravan Guard, so he's gonna hold back and just pick up a city. I do pick up a Caravan Guard at that point to try to get some economy going. Like I said, I want to get to 6, and my opponent does have the Margrave from very early, so I kind of need to be able to hit 6 on a 3-card hand, which is kind of difficult to do. So at this point I am going to trigger the Market Square. It means that my shuffle is not triggered, so I get a Market Square and my Spice Merchant back in it, as well as the gold. And 2, I can't really do anything, right? Like, what would I draw even if I didn't trash with the Market Square there? I mean, didn't discard the Market Square for gold. Margrave would probably be the best thing. Anyway, so my opponent has a good turn here. Again, to trash with the Spice Merchant and getting to play the Margrave. That's pretty good, and now he picks up a Market Square. So we both have 1, and my opponent does have a second Margrave, and I'm going to pick up my second one here, I believe. So this is nice. The gold is putting in a lot of work. Look at this. Exactly 5. Thank you, gold. pick up my second Margrave. So again here, this is a board where tracking for Triumphal Arc is a bit difficult for me to do just because there's a few action cards flying around. Border Village, Margrave City, potentially the Caravan Guards, so a little bit tricky to keep track of exactly how much of each action each player has. But we'll see what we could do here. Luckily I joined some of my Margrave here, so I am staying alive um, by the skin of my teeth actually. So I choose here not to trigger this Margrave because I didn't want all these cards to miss the shuffle. I know there's a Spice Merchant and a Copper in the back, and it would get me to 8 for sure if I do play the Margrave. 8 is significant because I could pick up City Market Square, for example, because soon the deck is going to be small enough, and I'll get to the point where I'll be discarding those Market Squares for gold. Instead, I just hold back. I'm not sure if that was the correct decision. I just hold back on playing the second Margrave and pick up a border village alongside another Margrave. And I think you have to kind of pick up the border village over the hireling in the early stages anyway, just to get the draw up. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. Really not sure if that's correct or not, but um, it just seems so much more valuable to get a Margrave alongside your border village rather than just one hireling. So my opponent is able to get up to 6 there too. I don't think they have a gold in their deck yet, so they're just able to get that from, drawing with Margrave a couple times, I believe. Not the greatest Margrave draw for me there, but oh well, at least I'm able to attack my opponent. Although at this point I'm not really sure how much the attack hurts him, because he is becoming quite thin. So I mean, the Margrave attack might actually just help line up his stuff more easily. Here he trashes for a gold, but I think he's unable to draw it right away. Oh, he actually draws, so I don't know if he managed to get there. Oh, there we go. There we go. He manages to get the dream. So he trashes with his Spice Merchant, triggers his Market Square, draws back everything, and yeah, makes use of that gold right away. 6 is not a lot of money, but he has the potential to increase, of course, right, from here. He has the potential to increase from here. So here, I think, yeah, just Border Village and Margrave. A pretty nice pickup because what the overdraw allows you to do is what he did on the previous turn, right? Make use of the Market Square ability to get the gold right away. It also helps make his engine a little bit more stable, I believe. So here again, look, this gold is doing such good work for me here. Pretty happy I had it from early on. 7 is going to be, I think, another border village on Margaret, right? I still can't really see putting in a hireling yet, although I'm going to get hit with Margaret every turn from here. I still don't feel like I could buy it. In fact, I actually pick up a city alongside my border village instead of the Margrave. So at this point, I feel like I want to go for stability, and having a little extra villages will help me in achieving that goal. So here I keep 2 Margraves because I know that I have a bunch of villages in the back and I could probably play both of them. I think the deck is to the point where I kind of want a little bit more plus action than draw, just to be stable. I don't want to run out of actions and not be able to draw my deck on a turn, because as it is, I'm behind a little bit and I don't want to fall even more behind. So another trigger for my opponent with the Market Square. So going from 6 to 9. Looks like another border village into Margrave thing, and he could get another Market Square here. So next turn, he could get 2 golds instead of the 1. He actually doesn't do that, which is fine. Like I like it. He doesn't need the draw. He's drawing enough, so he's just gonna stick his journey to not journey token, the plus coin token from training onto the Margraves. So that's gonna give him a bit extra money next turn, in addition to the second market square he picked up. So he's gonna be able to yeah, get 2 goals because he has like so much overdraw here. I'm just able to find everything. I leave a market square at the top of the deck, and I come up with 11. So I'm not gonna go for the training quite yet. I still want to pick up the Margraves themselves before putting my training token on that pile. I think I am gonna put it on that pile. Um, the training token kinda helps you track with Triumphal Arc. It kinda says, okay, this is the pile that I have the most actions from. Because that's where you want to put it, right? You get maximum money from it. So I believe this is Border Village into Margrave and just picking up another market square because I too want to start picking up more gold. Kind of surprised I was able to draw nearly everything with my deck there, so with the additional Margrave I should be good for draw, just to find things in the right order now really. So we'll see. My opponent had 9 coin last turn, so he's gonna get what, $6 more probably from the gold, which will send him to 60, no, 15 minus 2 from minus 1 from the copper he'll trash to get there. So 14 plus whatever he gets on his Margraves, which is plus 2 plus 3 I believe. So his economy is gonna take a big jump this turn. But mine should be thereabouts. I think I came up with more money than him last turn, $11, and I too will gain some gold. So we'll see how things go. Actually, we are coming up kind of close onto a 3 pile here. Of course, that's just what happens when there's border village around and a draw card somewhere. Border villages evaporate as well as that draw card. So here, my opponent triggers the market square for some gold. Comes out with, what is this, 15? 15. I think he only triggered one there, one market square. I guess he couldn't draw back everything quite yet. So again, another border village market Margrave pair. And still has enough for another pair of those. And I think he should do it because it would make him win the Margrave split. Again, it angles him for the arc points and whatnot, but I think he was hesitant to do so because it would trigger cities and give me first use of the upgraded cities. So instead he picks up a city alongside his border village. But I still think he should have picked up the Margrave, even though it makes my cities better. I mean, he has cities too. It's not like he's giving me the plus buy from the city, right? He's giving me the plus cards, which at this point I don't really need too much. So, but picking up the city is fine too, right? As for me, I do want to get the Margrave, and now look, we're at a very interesting point in the game here. Because we have lots of buys from the Margraves, right? And 1 Margrave is left, 5 cities, 6 market squares, so I have 16 coins here. And my line of thinking here was, okay, look, I want the next Margrave, right? It's plus buys, it's draw. I'm still gonna trigger next turn my Spice Merchant on Market Square to get 2 more gold, and then I'll start buying green cards and I'll appreciate the draw at that point. So even though it makes him draw more with his city, it's not a big deal I think because he's already drawing his deck anyway. Not giving him the plus buy, and I don't think it gets him any closer to a pileout if I take 1 border village Margrave. I'll stick the training token then on the Margrave, so I'll have a lot of extra money next turn. And I will have 4 leftover money, 4 money left over, and I decide to pick up a market square here. So what I'm saying basically is I don't think my opponent could get $21 and end the game. So he needs 2 border villages, which is 12, plus the remaining market squares. Right, which would be 3 threes and 9. However, my opponent actually proves me wrong, which means I underestimated or wasn't tracking properly how much money he could put out on this turn. So he actually doesn't need to buy any points to finish out the game, he just needs the piles because of Triumphal Arc. The border villages will push his arc up to 15 points, whereas mine is stuck on 12 points. So he actually had just enough money and buys to make that play, and the arc gave him the win. Narrow victory. Ordinarily, he would have to buy an additional estate, right, if the arc wasn't around to get the win. But he has the extra 3 points on the border villages, and I just completely underestimated his deck here. Just bad of me. So if I didn't pick up the market square, I would be okay. And we would go into this end game with provinces and whatnot. But this is how it ends. Thanks for watching.